Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, and this is, I believe, my 12th Flosstube video. On this channel, I talk about all my different cross-stitch projects. I do a range of samplers to full coverage, and I have a lot of different whips going on, but I'm trying to limit how many different projects I work on in a month. And I always talk about plans and don't usually stick to them. So it's always like a surprise with every video as to if I stuck to the plan or not. If you are new to my channel, I would like to welcome you, and I hope that you enjoy what you see. If you like it, then feel free to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and hit the bell to be notified of whenever I post a new video. If you are returning, I would like to welcome you back. I saw I got a lot of new subscribers in the past couple weeks, so thanks for liking me. I really appreciate it. I have a few things to show you, and I kind of stuck to the plan of what I had talked about last time. So let's get started, shall we? The first thing I want to talk about is haul. Actually, well, I guess it's more of like stitchy kindness, in the fact of it was a gifts from my mother again. So the Mother's Day was last weekend. So I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. That was Mother's Day here in the US. I think it might be a different day in a few other countries, but it was Mother's Day here in the US last weekend. So this is all Mother's Day presents from my mother. One of the things she gave me was, I had to put it on to show you, was this ring here. It was advertised as a cross-stitch thread ring, cross-stitch / crochet. It's really cool, and it's not focusing because it's focusing on my face. Maybe. Anyway, so I Googled it, and basically it's more of a crochet ring, FYI mom, but I still like it. It's really cool, but basically when you're crocheting, which I kind of dabble in, but I haven't done it in a while, but with this ring I might. Basically you thread your crochet yarn through the swan's neck, and it will keep the crochet yarn from rubbing on your finger and giving you that yarn burn. I think you can get it on Amazon for not too much money. So I got that. I was trying to figure out if I could use it for when I cross stitch, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I would have to constantly take it out, but it's still a really cool ring. I really like it. Another thing she gave me was she found a few things of fabric. So these two are like a plaid. These are 32 count Murano car. This one is gray. This one is taupe. From Artiste, and they are both 11.75 by 18 inches, so those are really cute. And also she got this one, it's also 32 count Murano, and this is Pink Splash, so it's got little like spots of pink all over it. It's really cute. I'm not pulling it out because I don't want to have to fold it back up and put it back in the plastic again, because I'm not using it yet, so I don't want it out, because then my cats are going to lay on it. I'm going to have cat hair all over it. So there's those, and then she got me this cute little kit here. It says she took a leap of faith and grew her wings on the way down. So this is from Bucilla. And it comes with the pattern, of course, and then it's got the fabric and the floss, It's a small one. It's going to be 4 3/4. Why can't they just make it like an even number? Like, sir, 4 3/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches. And it's not even like a whole number in the centimeters, 12.07 centimeters by 17.15. Why can't you just make it like a nice even number? Seriously. Anyway, it's on 14 count white Aida. So that'll be a fun little project to do. And then the other thing is she made me some more bags. This one is a Harry Potter bag for one of my big projects. Can't see. So it's got the clear cover on it. My mom does not sell these. She just makes them for fun. And it comes with a little handle so I can carry it. And then zips. And then it's got 2 pockets in there, because she saw that I really liked the pockets. So it's got 2 pockets in there. Yay! And then, I'm gonna open up this one real quick to pull this out. And then she made me another Harry Potter bag with a handle. And this one also has the clear cover on the front so I can stick my pattern in there and see which project it is. And then this one also has the pockets so I can stick like my pattern. And then what I do is, if I'm carrying the whole thing with me, I don't know if you can hear that. My cat is scratching at the door to be let in. He's done with porch time. If I'm carrying everything with me, then I'll put like my pattern with like my scissors in the front, and then I put the fabric in the back. And sometimes I stick the floss in the front, but I try to keep the fabric separate from everything so that like my scissors don't poke it and I get a hole, because I am not about to try to weave threads in to fix a hole. I'm not about that. And then this last one here, this actually, so she made me this one as well. Look at that little, what do they call it? The doodad thing on there. Isn't that cute? And then she made me a little macrame tassel. So this actually has a story behind it, and she put it in here so I could tell all my followers. Okay. A story for your YouTube subscribers. So, this is from, this fabric is from Jane Austen. So I'm gonna hold this up while I read this. Jane Austen was an English novelist known primarily for her 6 major novels: Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, and Persuasion and Northanger Abbey. They were all in the 1800s. They were all written in the 1800s, if anyone doesn't know who Jane Austen is. I'm sure everyone does because of Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility. But did you know Jane Austen was also a quilter? There is one quilt of Jane's in particular that is beautifully preserved by the Jane Austen House in, I don't know how to say it, Chawton, England? The whole quilt would have been pieced by hand, and all of those tiny diamonds in the border were pieced using English paper piecing techniques. And now here's why I'm talking about Jane's quilt. Riley Blake Designs released a new fabric and accessories collection called Jane Austen at Home, with prints carefully reproduced using the fabric using design motifs and colors from the original quilt. This bag was made from that reproduced fabric. Isn't that cool? So the fabric itself is all one piece. The fabric itself, this is all one piece of fabric. My mom did not go piecing every piece together. However, back in the 1800s, that's exactly what Jane did. She pieced every little diamond together. So my mom just kind of quilted over, like, in between all the things. So this is reproduced fabric from quilts that Jane Austen made back in the 1800s. Isn't that cool? So, put this back in here. So that's all my new stuff. I don't think I'm gonna have new bags to show at my next video because my mom is currently on vacation away from me. So I'm not gonna see her until June. So anyway, on to my whips. My last video, I said that there was 4 projects I was gonna work on for the month of May. And I did actually touch all 4 of those projects, and then I actually had to work on a couple different ones, which I will get to in a couple minutes. So now in these 4 projects I said I was working on because of all the different cross-stitch games that I was involved with on Facebook. And as the month has gone on, I am realizing that I was like in way over my head with the amount of, like, if I didn't work, so I was in way over my head with the amount of different posts that I had to make. It's not that it was a lot of work because the 4 projects get me through every single event that I was planning on. However, there was like over 20 different posts that I had to make every day. And I had to post start and stop photos, and going into each event, finding the area I had to post in. Some of them involved code words and some of them didn't. Code words are basically like, so they know that this is my list of code words that I've had for the month of May. Basically with that, that's, I just kind of, so they know that you're not like cheating by posting old whips and then so you like take a picture with the code word on it, and then you take another picture at the end of your stitching with the code word on it, and then they know that you actually did stitch in that time frame. Because, some people are cheaters and they ruin it for everybody. So I have, FYI, I did figure out they had updated iMovie, which was how I used to edit my videos, and I couldn't figure out how to add photos. Now I finally figured out how to add photos, but all my photos have code words on them, so I don't really want to like add them in here. So this video, you're not going to get any pre-stitching photos because I didn't want to have a bunch of code words on them. However, starting today, I'm going to take 2 separate photos, one with my code words and then one without the code words. And then that way on my next video, I will have pre-stitching photos that I can actually show to show you how much work I've done on them. Because when I start stitching on stuff, I do tend to stitch a lot most of the time. So anywho, that was a lot of talking for a lot of nothing. Anyway, so the first project I worked on, or one of the projects I worked on, was this one here. It's from Stitch Area on Etsy. I still have not looked into if the pattern, because I think she still has a shop, but I think this pattern is no longer available. This is Best Friends Quotes. And I can tell you what I have worked on. If you watched my last video, you probably know where I was. This is what it looks like now. So I can't see, hang on. There we go, that's better. So where I was last time was I had all this done. What I did since the last video was I did this whole section right here. And then I started, this is the trifle, Rachel's trifle. So I started on the trifle and I had done this whole section right here. So. I like this pattern, but at the same time, I don't like this pattern. And the only reason I don't like it is because with the back stitching and some of these words here, if you have this pattern and you haven't started it yet, I would highly suggest you do it on some type of even weave. That's what my problem is. I am stitching this on Aida. I don't know what kind. I think it's 16 count. I think it's a 16 count Aida. And these do not follow the traditional holes. Like these pivots right here, they do not follow the traditional holes. So I was like having to split threads like to get the needle where I needed it to go. And it was kind of annoying, but I still really like this overall. So, yeah, if you have the pattern and you have not stitched it yet, or honestly, I would, if you buy anything from her shop, which I really do like her shop, so I think it's a her. So I will, I would still like to buy another pattern from her. But I will definitely in the future take a closer look at the pattern before I get my fabric. Because if it's anything like this one, I will be doing them on even weave because of the way that the back stitching goes, because it's like in between the holes and I don't like having to do that. I feel like it doesn't make the lines like smooth when I have to split threads when I do it like that on Aida. Okay, so the next one I stitched on was my monster of a beach scene, Honeymoon Sunset. So yeah, I can't show, I think I can show this whole thing. I'm not sure. I'm leaning back again. Ah! So what I worked on, so that's it overall. And then what I worked on was this part right here. I was trying to do a page finish and I got bored with it. This is why I have so many whips, and this is why you saw that I've jumped around so much, because I get bored with stuff like that. I decided I can't do like by page. So, but I started working on this. This is a little gazebo that's starting to come out. It's going to continue over here. And then there's going to be a house right up here. So I started doing that. And then I was watching either, I think I was watching Needle Ninja, and she was parking. And was it Needle Ninja? I was watching somebody and they were parking and they were doing, I think it was her, and she was doing like 10 by 20 blocks, which is different from her usual parking. She usually does like a snake method. And this one, she was just doing 10 by 20 blocks and then parking below. And I was like, huh, I want to do that. So I decided to go back up to the top, and I picked a middle portion of the sky. This whole part fit in my Q-snap. I was using an 11 by 11 Q-snap. So I started working in 10 by 20 blocks, and I was parking in, let me get closer. I was parking in the row, or in the block below. So as you can see, I still got to do this part right here. But this was like in my Q-snap right there. So as of right now, my plan is going to be to continue this method. And of course, you know, my plans are never set in stone. So I will most likely change this. But right now, my plan is to work in this section, going straight down, all the way down to get to the bottom. And then move over and do it again and again and again. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that. I also don't know if I'm going to go all the way down and then move over, or if I'm going to go part way down and then move over and go, you know what I mean? So I don't know about that. That's too far. That's a future gen problem. That is not a now gen problem. So yeah. Yeah. So again, worked on that part there. And I worked on this down here. So yeah, I am currently, oh, I didn't even show you what it's, I just showed you what I had done. Okay, so I'm sorry. So this is Honeymoon Sunset. This is from the Cross Stitch Studio. And that is what it's going to look like. I can't see. That's what it's going to look like. My apologies for not showing you that sooner. This is what happens when I don't have stuff written down in front of me. Do this first. So that's what it's going to look like when it's completed. This is 869 inches or stitches across, 649 stitches high, and it has 133 colors. And again, this is from thecrossstitchstudio.com. I am currently 23.45% complete on it. I have done a total of 132,000, stop moving, go back. 132,270 stitches out of 563,981. I have not hit, I use Pattern Keeper for it, as you could see. I have not hit a 0 on any of my colors yet. I don't even think I'm below 100 on any of my colors yet. Knowing my luck, I probably won't hit 0s until I'm like 90% complete with this thing. So there's that. I'm probably going to work on this one today after I'm done with this. Okay, so I also had a new start. Let me see if, here we go. I had a new start. One of the other things I said I was going to work on was, the Year of Gnomes Stitch Along from Cross Stitch for Everyone. And I was going to start with the May Gnome. Ignore all that other stuff there. Oh, it's reflecting really. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me do it like this. So this is what the May Gnome is going to look like. What I ended up doing was, my last video, I said I was going to map out the gnomes because I wanted to do it on a piece of 28 count white Monaco, something like that. And I was going to either do 2/2 or 1/1, depending on how big they were. I decided to, I started mapping it out a little bit, like to figure out if I could fit all 12 on one piece of fabric. And when I started counting, I realized how much I hate counting. So I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to do 1/1. So I started him in the center of the fabric, because when I kind of like, it was like January, February, March, April, May. Oh, perfect. Middle of the thing. June, July, August, September, October, November. No. I'm going to have to do it on different fabrics. I just realized it's 3x4, not 3x3. Wow, I'm a moron. You know what? It doesn't matter because this thing is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's just the top of his hat. And that's the fabric. So even if I did 4x3 or 3x4, I don't think that it's going to fit on here anyway. Even if I did, yeah, no. So that's okay though. Because then while I was stitching him, I was like, you know what? I think I might just kind of cut all the pieces out and like all the gnomes out and just do them as individual finishes anyway. So I'm just going to do what I can on this fabric and then get another piece of 28 count white Monaco and do the rest of them. So I'm not stressing. It's fine. It's fine. I can make it work. But this is the start of my May Gnome. So again, this is 1/1. And I know that I said before how much I despise stitching with one thread. I'm still not the biggest fan of it. However, I've watched a few tutorials on how to do a loop start with one thread, and it's been successful. So that's how I've been starting all these threads, was with a loop start with one thread. I want to say Needlebug had one. That was how I learned it. And then I saw a few TikToks that people have posted in various Facebook groups about doing a loop start with one thread. So again, May Gnome in the middle of a piece of fabric that shouldn't have been the middle. It should have been up higher, but you know what? It's whatever. I'm going to make it work because they weren't all going to fit on this fabric anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, which is good for me because now when I do, if I finish this gnome and I move on to the next one, I can just put it wherever because I'm just going to cut them all apart anyway. So it's whatever. Okay, so the next piece I worked on, 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth one I said I was going to work on. This is, where's my pattern? Oh, here it is. So this is the next thing I worked on. This is Spring Sampler from Color Design Studios. Designer is Sandy Orton. She has all four, she has a thing for all four seasons. I have Summer Sampler somewhere. And I decided to start Spring Sampler because I've seen Winter Sampler. I started Autumn Sampler myself, and I ended up leaving it in my boyfriend at the time's house, and then we broke up, and I didn't want to see him again, so I left it there. I told him to throw it away. I had only done the center, like, about that much of it, and it was not worth it to go back and get it, so I told him to just throw it out. So I got to restart that one. So this is where I'm at with it now. I need to get one of those boards like some other people have and just stick it on a board. So this is where I'm at with it now. I think the last time I showed you, I had just done like part of this right here. So I have like a 1.25 stitches right over here. And then this, I want to say that most of this block right here will be filled in. And then so the reason why all I've done over here is white is because one of my cross stitch games, there was a weekend challenge to stitch in only black or white threads for the weekend, for Friday the 13th. We could only stitch in black or white. So I pulled out another project, a fifth one, and stitched black on that. And then I stitched white on here. So it's kind of neat though, because like spring is like outlined, you know? So I got to go back and fill all that in now that the challenge is over. But I did that. This is being stitched on 28 count tea-dyed Monaco, 2/2. And I am really liking this fabric so far. I have 2 more pieces of this fabric to do winter and autumn. My summer one is kind of on like a 28 count linen, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to work with. I like this one better. So you know what that means? I might go back and buy another piece of this fabric and restart my summer sampler. Because I'm not really the biggest fan of the fabric I'm doing the summer sampler on, because it's more linen. Like it's a linen. So the blubs, the flubs, whatever they're called, you know, those aren't too bad, but it's like, you know, it's a very loose weave, and I don't like it. I like this one much better. It looks much cleaner to me. So let me give you a close-up of this. But let me fold this up because I can't see. Let me try this again. I think my cat gave up on trying to come inside. I'll let him in a few minutes. So yeah, right over here, I have like a 1.25 stitches to fill in right there. And then I got to fill in some more stuff over here. So I had tried putting this into Pattern Keeper, but with all the quarter stitches, it was getting confused as to what color matched what. And I do have Markup RX on my phone, but I don't know if I'm just used to Pattern Keeper or what, but I've tried playing around with Markup RX. Maybe it's that I don't get it. I was trying, because when I load my pattern into Markup RX, it didn't automatically put the colors in, so I have to go in and manually enter in the colors. which sometimes you have to do with Pattern Keeper. But Pattern Keeper, when you have to load the colors in, it has all the symbols listed, and then you have to, if you have to put your colors in, it has the symbols listed, it reads all the symbols and has them all listed out. And then you select the symbol and you manually enter in the color and you save it, and then it will provide the mock-up for you, which I thought was kind of neat because I was doing it for this one here. But like I said, with the fractional stitches, it was just too much. But as you enter in the colors, the mock-up will pop up and show you what it looks like. But anyway, with Markup RX, it doesn't do that. So I was, and it could just be that I don't know how to work the program, because everybody, like, I see all these people rave about it, but I don't know if they're raving about it because that's all they know and they don't know about Pattern Keeper. I kind of feel like Pattern Keeper is a little bit better for me. Not better overall. But I was having to manually select a symbol within the pattern, and then it would say no color, and then I had to go in, and then I had to pull up the key, and then I had to enter in the color number, and it was just, and then if I went to select a different symbol, it added it to the symbols, the symbol 1 was highlighted, and I entered in that color number, and I'm like, all right, well, this isn't too bad, I could probably figure this out. Then I would select the triangle, and that one triangle symbol would be highlighted along with all the number 1s. It wouldn't switch over to the triangle. So I don't know. I didn't like that. So I haven't really messed around with it too much more, because it seemed like it was an excessive amount of work for me. So the next project that I picked up because of anyway, moving on. So I'm back to Pattern Keeper. It's fine. I'm highlighting my spring sampler, because I have it on paper, and I'm just going back to my old school ways of how I used to do it, and I'm just highlighting the symbols. At first I wasn't highlighting because I was like, oh, I don't want to mess up the pattern. Then I'm like, you moron, you have it on your phone. Like, you have a PDF copy of the pattern. When you need to go back and because I wasn't highlighting because I didn't want to mess up the pattern, and also there's back stitching, and I'm like, well, I don't want to mess it up because of the back stitching. Hello, stupid. Just reprint the pattern when you need to do the back stitching, or just pull it up on your phone and do it. So I started highlighting the pattern, and it is making my life much easier now. Anyway, so moving on. The next project that I picked up to work on because of that Black and White Weekend Challenge was the sewing desk. This is from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Aimee Stewart. I did the black, some of the black in there. I thought there was a lot more black, but no, I was thinking of the blue being black. Anyway, this is 525 by 375, 87 colors. This is being stitched on 25 count easy count Lugana, which I realized I did not say that for Honeymoon Sunset. That is also 25 count easy count Lugana. That is being stitched, Honeymoon Sunset is being stitched 2/110 stitch. So is this one. All of my full coverages, I have been doing 2/110 stitch because I prefer stitching with 2 threads. And like I said before, I want to stitch on all the things, and I will never get to stitch on all the things if I do full crosses for everything. So my full coverages that are really big, I'm doing 2/110 because it makes it go so much faster. And my cat is now scratching at the door again. He is really determined to get inside. Anywho, make sure I have this the right way. Oh, nope, I didn't. Okay. Anywho, so this is where I'm at now. So it's going this way. That's what I was checking for. So this is the center of the pattern, and I did some of the black that's in the sewing machine. That's what I worked on. I could have done more on it, but it was making me nervous having to travel. Even though this is pre-gridded fabric, my counting still sucks. I need to go back to first grade. And I was nervous to go all the way out. One day I would like to do a project extreme cross country, but I think I might get bored with it. doing all of one color like that. I don't know. So anywho, I want to try it one day though, because it looks really cool. I've seen it on Facebook where people have done like all of like the main color, the big color, to give themselves like starting points for like the smaller colors. It looks really neat. It looks so neat. Anyway, so this project here, I am 1.72 complete, 1.72% complete. I have done a total of 3,388 stitches out of 196,875. So there's that one. And then the last project I worked on was not for any other reason other than I started getting bored with my other projects. And I wanted to stitch on something else. So the last one I worked on, which was literally last night, this is Springtime Splendor. I'm trying to pull up the photo. This is also by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Randal Spangler. Springtime Splendor. This is a max color, which means that somebody had requested more colors in it. So it is 450 wide by 758 tall, and it has 236 colors, so holy confetti. But I think that so it'll give more detail than 87 colors. That cat, I swear. This is where I'm at now. So doesn't look like I've done much. I'm trying to fold this up so I can hold it with one hand. But basically I've filled in a lot of this part right down here. I think that's where I was at. That was a lot more open, maybe the last time you saw it, but I filled in a lot of this down here. And then I started doing a little bit in the window. Yeah, there's a lot of confetti in that window. And I was getting too tired last night to worry about it because I was like, I'm gonna end up messing something up. So, with this project, I am 2.07% complete already. Wow. I have done a total of 7,059 stitches out of 340,805. So, my opinion regarding the number of colors, because I've seen this talked about a lot on different groups regarding, you know, some people are like, oh, I don't like all those colors because it's just, confetti is too much. You don't need that many colors. I do feel like 236 colors is a little excessive, but I think it's a lot better than the ones that have 87 colors. And I'm going to use the sewing desk as an example. Let me pull up the PDF. And I'm going to use, try this again, take two. So this little thing right here is right next to the sewing machine. I have started that part. I'm curious to see how it's going to turn out, but that's like a little old advertisement, right? And so far, I got to fill that in, but so far that's what it looks like. And I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that little twill pants sign thing because it's hard to make out. And I think that's because there's no, I don't know, because I think that that part has too much detail to really like come across very well. I'm not sure. But anyway, 87 colors. I don't know if it would show as great of a detail as what the artwork portrays, But 236 colors is quite a lot of colors. There is a lot of confetti in those pieces. I find that a good balance would probably be like 100 something colors, like no more than 150. So if you're on Heaven and Earth Design's website, I think that the color expansion pack, like if they're like, you'll have like the regular chart, then there's like a color expansion and then a max color. And the color expansion, I think, has about 150 colors in it. And I think that's probably a good amount of color, different colors for these larger pieces. I think that would provide you with enough detail to kind of get your point across without going overboard on the colors. The Cross Stitch Studio has, on their big pieces, they average about 130 to 140 colors, and I feel like I'm getting plenty of detail with just that amount. I'm still going to buy stuff from both companies, but I do feel like the 236 different colors is just a tad excessive. Yeah, but I still like it. I'm still going to stitch it, but I don't know if you really need that many more. But I do feel like the higher color amounts do provide better detail than the 87, like than the lower detail. So that, yeah, that's just my opinion about that. The other thing I bought was these little guys right here. I got them on Amazon. I heard about them from somebody on one of my game groups. You can wrap it around like your frame. I don't have a frame I can wrap it around, so I just kind of wrap it around my thumb, the thumb that I'm holding my fabric with. And of course, you know, this normally works out just fine, but now that I'm trying to show you, it's not going to. Just push this together. It's supposed to stay together. Anyway, I wrap it around my thumb like this, and that's where I'm like holding, or I just sit it next to me. And then if you're using a paper pattern, you can use this to count your stitches. I've already counted this, so I'm not worried about like going up. So you can use this to count your stitches. If you it'll automatically shut off after a little bit. It'll automatically shut off for a little bit, but when you hit the button, it'll turn back on to the last number that was posted. So you don't have to worry about trying to make sure it doesn't shut off or whatever, because it'll keep the amount that you posted. And then when you want to reset it, you just press and hold. So I've been using this for my spring sampler, and also I have one for my friend's quotes piece to count my stitches, because that's one of the things that we have to do for our cross stitch games. We have to count our stitches. It came in a pack of 4 for like $8. It was super cheap. And it was this is called a tally counter. And they're like a pack of 4, and they're like 4 different colors. So yeah, I like them. They're cheap enough that when the battery dies, I'll just move on to another one. When I run out, I'll just buy some new ones. So anyway, all right, so my plans for the rest of the month. Yeah, my plans for the rest of the month are going to be to continue on Honeymoon Sunset. Partly because I was trying to see if I pull up my calendar, because I think my next video, I was just trying to pull up my calendar. My next video is going to be the end of May. So yeah. So I'm going to continue working on Honeymoon Sunset. The Cross Stitch Studio has a Facebook page, and they have a challenge going on in the month of May where you stitch on their projects and you have to post pictures and blah, blah, blah. And if you meet the requirements for their photo postings, you get a discount on one of their charts. And then everybody who achieve that gets entered into a drawing, I think, to get a free chart. Not that I need more charts, but you know, that's how I got Fairy Tale Cottage, was doing a challenge back in like January. No, was doing a challenge last year. I think I did the November challenge, and I ended up getting Fairy Tale Cottage, which, I don't know, I might bust that one out too. But anyway, my plan is definitely going to be to continue working on Honeymoon Sunset, for sure. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. That was like my main one. The challenges that I had for the spring sampler and for the, I could continue working on the gnome. I don't know if I'm going to. And same with the friends quotes. The challenge that I had for the spring sampler, that challenge is done. It was just a few days at the beginning of the month, so I don't have to work on that one. But I'm definitely going to work on Honeymoon Sunset. I might bust out a couple other of my large full coverage ones. I might have a new start or two, because I was like, last night, after working on the same like projects for a few weeks, I was kind of getting bored with them, and I was kind of itching to have a new start. I don't know if I'm going to, I was like looking through my pile of stuff that I wanted to work on. I have fabric that I can start a new stocking. I have those little projects that my mom gave me. I have the winter sampler or autumn sampler that I could start. And then I have a few kits that I could start. So I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. But I will say that I will actually take photos before I start stitching. Unless it's a new start, then I'm not going to do a photo of blank fabric. That'd be dumb. But I will say that I will post a photo so that I can actually add photos in my next video. Anywho, oh, you know what I might do? This fabric that my mom bought me. I wonder if it would, I got to think about this, and I want your opinions too. And I'm also going to ask my mom. I don't know if it would be a good idea to do some of the gnomes from the yearly gnome sale. I don't know if it would be a good idea to do some of them on these fabrics. I don't know. I just thought about that too. Because I'm stitching that May gnome on 28 count. And these are 32. Maybe I should just stick with the same count. They're not all the exact same size, but no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to find something else to stitch on these. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's all I have to say. Now I'm just like trying to, like, I'm stretching. I still have to get fabric for my village pieces. I have it sitting right here, so I'll just show you real quick. I haven't worked on it, but I still have to get fabric for my other villages for these. Okay, I guess I am going to show you because I wanted to show you what the fabric looks like. That's how far I've gotten. So maybe I will have you guys comment and tell me what you think. Do you think it would be weird if I did the other 3 villages on a different color fabric? Like if I had this is on, I believe it's called Summer Sky. I know it's 28 count Jobelin, but I believe the color is Summer Sky. Now what the pattern calls for is ivory, but I wanted to be different and do a different fabric, so I got Summer Sky. However, now I don't know if I should get Summer Sky for the other 3, because at the time I wasn't planning on doing the other 3, but now I have patterns for the other 3, seasons. So I don't know if I should do all 4 of them in Summer Sky, or if I should just do the ivory Jobelin that it called for. My issue is, I looked it up last night on 123 Stitch, and they are out of the Summer Sky color. not that I plan on stitching them anytime in the near future, so I guess it's not important. I can just wait until it comes back in stock. Plus, I need the specialty thread that goes on the very bottom, like the little square down there that has the quote in it. It has a specialty thread that I do not have for any of the projects. But I just want to know what you guys think. So again, that's what it's going to look like. And yeah, because I could just wait until it comes back in stock and then get the fabric for all three, and then also try to get the specialty thread that I need for all 4 projects. So yeah. And I'm still debating on if I'm going to restart my summer sampler. Do I have it handy? I'm going to look real quick just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Let me see if I have it handy. I don't know if I do. Looking through my pile of stuff here. I don't think I have it right next to me. I'll probably show you guys in my, no, I think it's in my other bag. I'll show you guys next time, but it's more of a linen as opposed to the even weave, and I'm not really digging it. So, anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all I have to say. So, yep. Okay. So if you liked what you had, what I had to show you, then please go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of when I post a new video. And thanks for watching if you're still here, because it's kind of a long video. Not as long as my videos used to be, but kind of a long video. Anyway, again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.